right, everybody. Welcome back to Scratch the Vinyl. I cannot tell you, I can't even hold in the excitement right now. I mean, these episodes keep getting better and better. And this is going to be no different, everybody. We have a treat for you guys. We have a band that's been doing this a long time. I mean, this is a massive get for us. And it's not that we don't like just talking to local talent, but we want to talk to national talent. And we got somebody. How we duped him, I don't know. Maybe Brooke hung outside their house and babysat their animals for a while. And I don't know. But we have the Prids, everybody. And if you don't know who the Prids are, you're going to find out very quickly. But I think you already do. They've been rocking out for what 30 plus years. Their style is something that I personally love, and I know Randy does too. And let's just bring them on right now, everybody. We have David Fredrickson and Mistina Lefevre. Everybody, let's give them a round of applause. Welcome to the show. How are you guys?
Hi, thanks.
So I'm Kane Stevens. I'm a local musician here. I've been playing for a long time. We have, of course, the Chill Man, Randy, Mr. Chill Wilson. He's the Godzilla of karaoke here in town. And he's also been a business mogul. And then we have Brooke Johnson. She's more than just red lips, everybody. Brooke, tell us right off the bat, how the heck did you, what was your brush with this band and why the heck would they want to talk to us right now?
Well, I kind of started off here in Lincoln and they had a show at the Zoo Bar and we knew, I knew their drummer at the time. And, their van, I think something went wrong, maybe a flat tire. I can't remember what it was. And so my friend Lee goes, "Hey, could you come and pick us up?" And I said, "Yeah, let me move car seats." So I got him at the where they're getting their car fixed and met them all, went to their show. And let me tell you, I fell in love at that moment. And then they have a music video out that I watched 80 times over and over again.
That was you.
Break. Yeah, I love that one. It's great. But yeah, that's kind of how I know him. So I met him a long time ago, and I think I saw him again a few years later. But then, so that's how we know each other a little bit.
Yeah, good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
So let us know exactly, and the listeners, tell us how long you guys have been at it, and when did you guys start as a band, kind of really hitting the scene?
98. I would say we started in 95, but then we moved to Lincoln in 98 because our drummer had moved there.
We moved there for him to be our drummer.
Right.
He moved to Lincoln, and honestly, we were in between either moving to Lawrence or Lincoln, but we could have a drummer if we moved to Lincoln, so we chose drummer.
You always choose the drummer, right? You go wherever the drummer is. That's always been it for me. It's like I've always been the lead singer and the rhythm player, but nobody really wants. We got to follow the drummer wherever they go.
Follow the drummer at your peril. People don't take it as seriously enough. But if you don't follow the drummer, your band's gonna suck.
Absolutely. So how long were you guys in Lincoln?
4 years?
No,
was it? No, gosh,
you are crazy.
I know it's a year and a half.
We're getting old. Yeah, it was a year and a half.
Was it a decade?
Well, it's a great place. I mean, try living here for 40 or 50 years plus. I mean, in Lincoln years, that's 250 years. So,
well, all of my memories of Lincoln are great. Well, there's a couple, but but almost everything else was great. Right. And I had such a good time, and we learned how to be a band there. There's so many good times. We played so many shows.
Yeah. We were kids.
Mm-hmm. What was that time frame? What was the years that you guys were here in Lincoln?
98 to the end of 99. We moved to Portland, and David arrived here in November of 99.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it wasn't long. It felt like a million years because when you're a kid, everything's in that amount of time.
There was so much development during that time. So
when you think about the time you were here, what was the scene like for you? What was the local scene? Because you guys were obviously one of those bands. Just having a stint here, you're kind of helping us build our credibility as a music scene, even while you guys were here. What was it like for you?
Right. So originally, and probably rightfully so, the actual bars wouldn't book us. not Duffy's or Knickerbockers. They were like, yeah, we gave them a cassette. They did never contact us. But so we were like, so how do we do this? But there's the punk, hardcore underground scene that was happening. They were doing shows at Havelock and what was the
Havelock Social Hall
campus place?
Yeah. What is it? It's some hall.
Yeah, what is the common ground or something like that? So
part of the university.
Even though we weren't really a punk band, we're a post-punk band,
Right.
But
and we lived across the street from Lee Zeman.
That's right.
And that helped
That's
because
right.
he had one size fits most. So
that's how that happened. Yeah, that's how we got our first show because Lee Zeman lived across the street.
Yeah, he was always skating outside, and David befriended him.
Yeah.
I wandered into. They were recording. It was the first day we moved in. I wandered into their house. Yes, well, they were, everyone's drinking beer and stuff and smoking,
right.
and I wandered in there. They're recording, and I was like, "What is going on?" And I started tweaking their 4-track, and I made it a lot better, to be honest.
God.
And they were like, "Who the hell are you?"
I remember, I think, going to your house one time, and they were having like a little house party. It was something chill. And I had my red Camaro ugly ass thing. And I walked out of your house like, what the hell? And I was like, you can have it. You can have it. I paid the drums for that.
See, I think that's the epitome of Nebraska nice to me. Like that, if anybody listening to this show gets that, they realize that, yeah, you could just walk up in and like, how you doing? Hey, you mind me tweaking this track? And you're like, wow, yeah. That's an awesome story.
Totally. And I felt really welcomed. And also I think they didn't really know what they were doing. And I not that I really knew what I was doing, but I knew that what I was looking at was not right. And I was like, here, do this. And they were like, you care? You give a shit about this? And I'm like, yeah. And I ended up recording 7 inches in an album for them, after that.
Yeah, I could have used you guys on some of my tracks early on. Now, if you guys want to come to my studio now and tweak,
sure.
Up to.
Parachute in.
So at what point did we get shows in clubs? I don't even.
Yeah, when did that? I think it's because
the end.
I think it's because I know exactly, because the radio station put on a show.
Yeah.
And then so we played that, and then they were like, "Hey, you should come back."
Karen, yeah.
Yeah. Then we got kind of big, and started packing and that's when we left.
You're like,
We were like, "Oh, we're kind of getting popular. Got to get out of here and try it somewhere else." But probably, yeah, our plans were already forged. So it was
and
like
the Faint called us at one point too, and that helped. We got shows in Omaha.
yeah.
They're like on the landline. You guys also wear black? You guys also have a keyboard? We're like, yeah.
That was
You
it.
can actually sing? This is amazing.
Well, I don't know at that point, but we were actually singing. That's
Oh no, you guys have been very talented since the beginning, and that's
thank
what
you.
drew me in.
You're
And
very
I
kind.
know you guys got a bunch of records out, don't you? Like, you have a few of them.
Yeah, not as many as we should.
Yeah.
To be fair, for the
5
30 years, we have 5 full lengths. There's a lot of singles and 7 inches in there and some EPs, but
Right.
we've always lost momentum due to some kind of
People changing.
accident, some kind of something, health issue. It's just something has just been like, oh, are you starting to get somewhere? No.
And we toured a lot in the beginning.
Yes.
For like 10 years. We were on the road for like 15 weeks or more a year
Mhm.
and booking our own tours. And it's just a lot of work. Right.
And you guys deserve it. I mean, it takes a shit ton to do what you guys do, and you're doing it yourself. And I know you guys have a new one coming out, right? It is out, but we
Technically
want
out,
to hear
yeah.
about it because we've listened to it at least 80 times over and over again. It's a great album.
Thank you. We're pretty happy with it too.
Yeah. Yeah. We get to work with Larry Crane, and that was really exciting. He's like a pretty legendary producer.
Mhm. Probably most known for Elliott Smith.
Yeah. Sleater Kenny, Pavement,
Yeah.
bands like that. So a big
I'm
deal.
a huge Elliott Smith fan. So so my mind just like blew just then.
Oh.
I was listening to your album last night, prepping for the show, And I grabbed my guitar and I just started playing along to it. That's my favorite part of music.
Yeah.
Is for me, it's like it's more intimate if I grab my guitar and join the band for a moment and play. But I love all the riffs and all the things that you guys do, because it kind of reminds me of, and I'm not trying to put you in a box, but it kind of reminds me of like The Cure and stuff like not that necessarily. And I'll ask you like what your influences are.
You're not going to insult me by comparing me to The Cure.
Right.
Yeah. Some people, they might get a little worked up over it, but like I like vampire rock and all that stuff.
Sure.
Not that you guys are in that box, but like some of the guitar solos and stuff remind me of that Cure like and I love it. I fell in love with it immediately. And so, I mean, thank you guys so much for just an awesome record in general, but thank you guys for letting me be in the band last night, at least for
Yeah, anytime.
Well, Kane, I took some notes, and of course, The Cure was at the top of my list. I also Eurythmics, Sinead O'Connor, the Cranberries. I mean, these were. Here's what I want to say. I would put it this way. When I started listening to like kind of the everything from the beginning to the end, from your 2000 stuff to the new album, it was how I consider music to emotion. Like you guys, that was the epitome that I got from it, was just how I felt listening to it. So kudos to you guys. I think you get your emotion across in your music so well.
Thank you. That is the goal.
It's very hypnotic.
Is our North Star.
Yeah, it's like a hypnotic like it's just this beautiful sound with it. And the lyrics, do you think the lyrics or the melody, do you guys have one or the other? Or like when you write something, is it?
I do. I write the lyrics and the melodies.
Right.
Like music, we collaborate.
We collaborate. Yeah. He'll write a melody and then I'll come in and maybe we'll alter it a little bit, or I'll write background vocals of my own and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, what's your process? Every lyricist is different, right? We're all kind of poets in our own way. At least I'd like to think so. Because I think you have to have a certain amount of poetry. But what's your process? Is it words first and then melody, or do you come up with a melody and then fill in the words as you kind of feel it?
It's both. I'll just put down. I'll just think of have a line occur to me, or someone will say something that I think sounds particularly beautiful, and sometimes they don't even realize what they've said, and I'll just write that down, and then I'll mine those notes, when I go when a melody starts to emerge for a song, and then often I'll write these days for on this latest record. I'll write something that I think is pretty good, and then I'll go back and realize it's not that good, and I'll make it. Then I'll be like, hey, no, Christine, I got it. Forget what I sent you.
Essentially everything I write it and I record it, then I listen to it, and then I'm not in love with it anymore. And so then it just keeps like, that's the fun of recording, right? And in the process is it just keeps getting better and better. And when you add someone talented like Christina and the rest of your band to it, it's like, man, they really fill in the gaps. Like me, I'm kind of a one-man band, so I have to have other people listen and tell me like, that's pretty off base. And then I'm like broken for a week over it. But you guys could instantly tell each other how you feel about it.
Oh yeah, and that's our quality assurance. Is that I'll send her something, and she, even if I just can think it's the best thing I've ever written, and she can just be like, yeah, I just don't see it. I don't get it, and
it's not easy to do.
And I'll just be I'm just crestfallen, and I'm just like, man. Maybe she. Well,
I will say the first lyric that hit me was that I wrote down after listening to everything was Something Difficult, where it says, I can play you a song I know you love. And like, that was like genius to me. Like, that's love for music right there. And like, that's like your emotion of probably trying to like, I know what you love, and it's in music. Here it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Still one of your best.
Speaking of that, you guys have a really good just vibe together and connection. And I don't know how you guys met to start playing music and all of that. Like, I mean, we always talk about like when people are on stage, if they don't connect with each other, you can tell. And I've always thought you guys really have this good connection, especially you two. Like, I mean, your guys' music together, it literally it hits your heart, like it's a soul thing. And I don't know where you guys met, how you met, where the serendipitous moment happened, but when you decided to play music together, did you just walk in her house, like, hey?
Yeah, walked in, she put on a 4-track, I started tweaking knobs. I said, what the fuck are you doing in here?
How most relationships start. I mean, yeah. Okay.
No, it's
playing a band.
It's an interesting, yeah, right. Well, it kind of gets to, do you want to play in a band? But it's, it's so crazy how it happened, really. I'm from Southern California, and she's from St. Joseph, Missouri. I'm from, I was born in March Air Force Base. Technically, it was at the time called Sunnymead, but it's Marina Valley, California, in Riverside. And I had a troubled youth. I ended up in, what you would just, it's called rehab. I'm 19 years old, but I meet a guy from Missouri, from St. Joseph. Well, actually, I'm getting too detailed, I guess. King City, Missouri, which is even a smaller town outside of a small town of St. Joseph. I end up in Missouri. I think it's adorable. I think I can't get into trouble there. And I'm playing in a band for the first time. I've never written. So I was a writer, consider myself a poet. It's so pretentious and stupid. I got the music bug because the guy I met was a guitar player, and we started writing songs, and I went, this is amazing. And I think that's what guided me, kind of out of trouble. And then I meet her, and she says, I think you're really cool. I don't, but I think you should come and leave these dudes and
make music with me. It'll be better.
Even though she can't play anything. She's not,
what do you play?
Offering, she's not offering, I've got my own thing. She's got nothing going on. She said, but I think, and I can't play guitar. So she's like, let's go start a band. And I'm like, so we went and bought instruments.
Pawn shop.
Yeah, at a pawn shop. Owned a 4-track before I owned a guitar.
Right.
Which is an interesting detail.
He was just a singer in a band.
Yeah.
So, but it worked out. You trusted me.
Yeah, it did work out.
It 100% worked out.
Wow, that's an amazing story. Honestly, I mean, we talk about this a lot with other artists that, everything's so commercial these days, and everything has to fit in a box. And if you just have the true love for the music, you're just like, hey, we'll go learn, we'll go bang on the drums. Mm-hmm. And this is what happens when you just, in my opinion, you just pour your heart into what you're doing.
If I look at your lyrics and I start to dissect them, I can look at any poetry book, and I'm sorry, but I could say that that's as good a poetry, if not better, than anything out there. So I don't think it's pretentious. I think you are a poet, my friend.
I appreciate that, and I'm not disagreeing with that. I think what I'm speaking to is just kind of when I look back at my youth, who I thought I was. We all cringe a little bit because you're like, God, who did you think you were? I mean, I appreciate the compliment, and I do appreciate my own work. I do think my lyrics are good. I do think my writing's good. I'm not self-deprecating about that.
And you should. And you know what? It evolves into different things. Your life has different things that happen. It's all different. Like we had a guest on, he was talking about his prom date. What was it, like the queen of the world or something? And he wrote his first song, and it was cool. And I go, you should redo it. I mean, we evolve, but we do the emotions that we do at the time. And I think that it's art and it's beautiful. And your lyrics are amazing. Everything is amazing about you guys. This is one of my questions. I know you guys have toured all over the place, everywhere. And do you have a particular place or moment that you will never forget? Something crazy happening, or it was just this whatever, just this moment, and within all these years that you've been doing this, that you guys are like, oh my God, this was hilarious. Like Jackie got up and her tits were hanging out, or was it like, you know?
We were on tour. We were on tour. We were in New York City, and David decided to get on a skateboard,
a mini half pipe.
A mini half pipe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a moment. Like
This
we
is
had
a huge-
just played a great show
Yeah.
at Southpaw in Brooklyn. We were like, I was like on top of the world. We were invited back to this warehouse party, and we're about to start this leg of the tour. We're about to start the leg of the tour with Built to Spill, and we were super psyched about that. We were just on top of the world. And I'm like, and I used to skate, but I hadn't skated in some years at this point.
You weren't that young then.
And yeah, I was, and
Shouldn't have been on a skateboard.
I shouldn't have been on a skateboard, and I immediately go down on my wrist, and I can tell I've hurt it kind of badly.
I wasn't there.
No,
I was back somewhere sleeping.
yeah, you were doing the right thing. I was doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, do you remember calling me?
I called you immediately, and I said, "Oh, Mistina,
I was like,
I made a huge
I'm
mistake."
gonna kill him. But he played.
I played.
Yeah.
I was like a baseball player. After every show, I was just icing.
Yeah.
You know, though, I have heard that with many artists. They're like, I had the flu and I was puking in this bucket and I just had to go on. I think I shit my pants. Like, you know, just keep going, you know, like, yeah.
Yeah, I've played with a catheter. I've played anemic. I have. The show must go on.
Yes, the show must go on. That's what professionals do.
That's what separates the amateurs from the pros, right? Is you guys get it. Like you play with the catheter, you do whatever you can do to get to that show and do it. And I mean, that's for you young guys out there who are just starting bands. Listen to what these guys, these are veterans in rock. Listen to what they're saying. If you have a catheter in and you're deciding not to go, get your butt out there and play.
Yeah, and I've never told anybody that.
You heard it live on Scratch the Vinyl.
It was in Hood River. Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago.
Nobody even knew. I still rocked. And it meant more to me. The thing is, like, it sounds like, oh, well, he suffered. To me, that's the trophy, is that I get to know that. It's not, I honestly don't really want to, I'm surprised I even told you, but I love knowing that I did that.
Yeah.
That's good. I like it. This isn't sweat, or this isn't pee, it's sweat, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Did you get any scars? Like, do we have like battle scars?
Scars? I've got plenty of scars. Yeah.
Yeah, we've both been through a lot.
Had staples in my head.
Yes,
Oh man.
No big deal.
No big deal.
I'm going to change it for a second. I got to ask you a question. Your new record, the cover of it looks like a stained glass or something with people. Who created that? That it's just beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, funny. Our drummer, he and I were sitting talking about photographs. We're like, what should we do for the cover? Should we be standing in front of stained glass? What will we do? And so he starts drawing David and I in front of, he's like, it could be like this, just this crude drawing. But I loved it because he made us frowning. I'm like, why are we frowning? Like,
right.
That's really what you think of us?
And it's inspired because, like, we're kind of into this like pseudo Catholic thing. We're not Catholics, we're atheists, but we love the imagery. When we travel, we like to go to Catholic churches and check out old groovy churches, and
right.
But we were just into this imagery at the time, and we were like, yeah, it's stained glass, something, and he did. He drew this crude drawing and made us
look frowning.
Yeah.
Like really,
he never meant. He never meant it to like be the cover.
I think that's the best when it always happens that way. It's the best. Like I wanted a necklace of that. Like
have it. We'll make you one.
It's so badass. Like it is so pretty. I don't know. It was so cool.
Some people hate it. Some people love it.
Some people are like, what the? Who is this?
Yeah.
Some child draw this? Who? Like we're like, yeah, our drummer.
Yeah, Messina did the color.
Yeah, I just
She took
colored
it
it
and then
with
did-
highlighters.
and added the color.
Because I didn't. We were just sitting there talking. It wasn't supposed to be anything.
Right, it wasn't. Yeah, and then I'm sitting there with my partner, and Messina's made it her profile picture. You know, and again, I didn't take a good look at it, but she goes, "This is cool, pretty cool." And I said, "Yeah, you know, maybe this is it."
Totally. And you guys, you could literally like sell like the little like chime things. And like I could just see it in my window right now. Like I think it's beautiful. I
should've
love
brought
it.
Resin mold. Catherine even asked me, "Do you want to take the resin mold?" If I'd have shown you this mold, like because it's inside this like I don't even want to describe it. It's beautiful, but yeah, you would have gotten a kick out of it.
And now your favorite part of the show, the part where we run our commercials and talk about those awesome local sponsors. So don't go anywhere. We will return with the Prids here shortly, but right now let's run the Elegant Sasquatch and Sly Ink commercial, and then we'll talk about local sponsors. Then we will get back to it. Ahoy, mateys! Christopher Columbus here. You know me. I discovered America, or at least that's what the history books have been saying for years. Anyways, I have a little confession to make. My compass quit halfway through the trip, and I got lost at sea on the way there.
Ahoy, Captain. What direction should we point the boat?
Shut up, you fool. I'm in the middle of a commercial here. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yes. When we arrived on land there, the natives were all decked out in their cool Viking gear. They said these big, smelly, bearded guys came, hung out, then split with all their cool stuff.
Aye, it was a weird day.
That could have been our cool stuff. We could have claimed all this great treasure and all this pirate's plunder.
But, sir, how will we steer the boat if we don't have a compass?
Well, this next trip is going to be different. I'm heading to Sly Ink Tattoo to get a compass on my hand. After that, everything is coming up Christopher Columbus.
Ahoy, sir. That new ink looks great on you. After I swapped the poop deck and greased the hootenannies, I think we're going to be back to spin and... Oh, no.
What is it now, you buffoon?
It appears as if America's shores are just on the horizon.
What? How could this be? I've been pointing my arm in the same direction for days. Well, looks like this tattoo compass is broken too. Guess I'll have to head back to Sly Ink for that dolphin lower back tattoo I've been wanting to get. Well, it looks like our native friends are waving us in, but oh, wait, they don't look very happy. Well, until next time, friends, if there is one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get ready to rumble with the Ultimate Beard Care Showdown. Introducing our headliner, the one, the only, Squatch.
Oh yeah, Mean Jim. Squatch in the house, and I'm here to tell you about beard products that'll make your whiskers the talk of the town. If your beard's ready to take on the world, you need the power of our beard balms, butters, and oils, brother.
That's right, Squatch. Let's kick things off with the Beard Balm of Legends.
This beard balm is like a body slam for your beard. It tackles those wild hairs and smooths them out, making your beard look like $1,000,000. No sweat, brother.
What's the scoop with the beard butter?
Oh, brother, it's a game changer. This butter makes your beard softer than a cloud and as easy to manage as a well-oiled wrestling machine. Plus, it's got a scent that's as sweet as victory. Oh, yeah.
And let's not forget the beard oil.
The beard oil is the final knockout punch. It hydrates, shines, and smells like a championship belt made of cedar and pine. Your beard will be the 1, 2, 3 of any match.
Where can our fans score these unbeatable products?
You read my mind, brother. Head on over to elegantsasquatchco.etsy.com and grab your beard gear. And listen up. Use the code SUPERSHOW and get a jaw-dropping 20% off. That's right, 20% off. Your beard's about to go from 0 to hero, brother.
That's
EleganSasquatchCo.etsy.com and use your code SUPERSHOW for 20%. Don't wait, make your beard the ultimate champ today.
So, Scratch the Vinyl people, you know we've been talking about Roots Music Shop for quite some time now. It's no secret by now that Ryan is one of the best owners in town, and the reason he is because he takes care of people. He takes care of you and all your needs. If you're a musician, if you need a guitar fixed, if you want to buy, sell, and trade instruments, he's got you covered. And then Randy, you're always the guy to ask everybody, what's in that vinyl collection? Well, where better than to get some of that used vinyl?
For those of us who like to go through and thumb through old albums and look for those hidden gems, Roots Music is the place to go.
We talk about those Beatles albums. We talk about Julian Lennon. These are all those that I couldn't find at the other shops, but Ryan just happened to have it. So you're really cheating yourself by not going there. It's kind of an all-stop shop for people who just love music. If you're not even musical, but you just want to go look at cool guitars or look at amps or plug in and play something, they've got you covered at Roots Music Shop. Go see Ryan. He's not going to turn you away. He's not going to burn you at the stake if you tell them that Scratch the Vinyl sent you. So go see Ryan. Tell him that Scratch the Vinyl sent you over there and enjoy the savings on what you're going to get there.
Hey, do us a favor. Tell them that Scratch the Vinyl sent you. I guarantee they will take care of you.
All right, Randy, this is kind of exciting too. We have a new sponsor on our hands. Let's talk about Gray's Keg for a moment here.
You guys know me from the entertainment scene downtown for many years. Well, let me tell you what, it's still alive at Gray's Keg. If you guys want to check out local bands and live entertainment, go down and see those guys every Friday and Saturday night and see your favorite bands.
Absolutely. Randy, they're kind of just off the beaten path. I mean, you've been in the business for years. You were down there right in that core downtown area, and you've seen what entertainment's been all these years. But now, if you walk just a little bit further, right, just a little bit down the way, you have yourself a regular music scene, right? A place where you can go on the weekends and you can see a band, and they're not going to charge you an arm and a leg to get in. They're not going to charge you an arm and a leg for beers. It's a dive bar by day as they build themselves, and it is a live venue by night.
Yeah, it's not your traditional college scene. This is a live music venue scene that if you want to go see some up and coming great bands, some of the regular touring bands in town, and honestly, we get a lot of live national bands that come through, and Gray's Keg is the place to go see those bands.
I have to ask you guys a question. As a musician, I know what live music is for me. I'm kind of an introvert in my own way, on the most part, but I have a switch that I can flip when I play. What's live music like for you guys? Are you guys usually kind of introverted, but you kind of like come out of your shell? How do you guys feel when you're playing live in front of a crowd?
Oh, I feel like I'm extroverted all the time.
Yeah,
which is weird because I was really shy, especially back in Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of came out of my shell in a way.
A shyness that's criminally vulgar.
You're right.
No, so much so that when we went to go get ice cream, I'd have to go in and find out the flavors, come back out and tell her what one,
so shy.
and bring her ice cream. It's hard to believe, but it was
right.
It was gripping.
As a teenager, I was so shy. So the fact that I wanted to be a musician so bad, I couldn't record vocals in front of him. He'd have to leave the room. It's just so far away from where I am now.
In the closet.
That's kind of great though to know that you can get over that.
But on stage, I think that we're kind of happiest. We really like it. We don't get nervous. You can get a little nervous.
It's like a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I would call it that. Every time, it doesn't matter.
Well, and you're seasoned. So if something screws up, you just kind of look at each other and go, let's just keep doing it. And it's, so you do that. Also, the introvert thing, when I first met you years and years and years ago, you were very quiet. And I think I said something really stupid because I am so awkward. And I just remember looking in the rearview mirror and you kind of giggled. And I'm like, ooh, She giggled.
She giggles.
I was like, okay.
How funny. Yeah, it feels like a million years ago if I came off as shy or introverted. That's crazy.
Yeah, now I don't really look around the room. I just listen for her laugh or whatever to find her.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you were the sweetest, like so sweet. And I was just like the awkward, and I just kept talking. And I'm like, okay, you don't have to talk if people aren't talking as well. But you're just the sweetest person. Yeah. Both of you.
Thank you.
Well, I just watched a video you guys had out of probably a show maybe you just did recently, not that long ago. And maybe you could fill us in on, who's in the band now with you guys and maybe what your plans are if you're going out on the road at all and promoting the new album and stuff like that.
Our keyboard player is Cass Yates. They've been in the band for 10 years, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also playing
2
bass.
albums. They're
playing bass these days, which is neat. So 2 basses in the band. I'm excited about that. And then Jordy Thompson is our drummer. He's been in the band 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. The pandemic.
That's
so
that
it feels like
years to.
Yeah, right. It feels like he hasn't been around at all. But our plan is in January, we're just going to do some dates with Blood Lemon, which is our friend Melanie's band, just regional, Boise and Seattle. And that's all we have planned at the moment.
Well, I feel like we need to get you back at some point back in this area, and we'd love to promote you around here. But
I'd love to come back to Lincoln.
Yeah,
that used to be one of our favorites on. Yeah, when we left, it was. But when we would return, it was like welcome home.
Yeah, it was always really neat too. Okay, when Lee was in the band because he was from there too.
That didn't hurt.
Yeah.
Well, I feel that's still the same. Like, I think you'd be welcome back anytime. So we would love to be a part of that. Scratch the Vinyl would love to be a part of a reunion date if we can get you guys out this way.
Do you guys care if I pick you up in a red van with duct tape? With some, I'll find some job.
Still got that van?
That'd be cool. I can find it. It's like Kane has his misery van that he has, like the mystery machine or what?
The misery machine. It was. We never solved mysteries, but we had a lot of misery.
Kane, in fact, they have a song that I thought would connect to you very well. The song "Haunted."
Oh yeah, we're in spooky month, everybody. I listened to Haunted, and I was like, just solely alone. I'm looking for spooky month stuff to put out on our Scratch the Vinyl podcast playlist, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this song. Just does it for me. Like, this song is everything that I'm looking for. So I completely agree with you, Randy. See, I do paranormal investigation also here, and so even if you're not talking about ghosts and haunting and all that. Just the title alone is enough to reel me in every time.
The original title for that song was "Haunted Castle."
We have a lot of really silly names in practice. We're like, let's call this one "Haunted Castle."
It's all right. Yeah, it's but then sometimes those placeholder titles, as silly as they are, influence the song itself, and
it's like, just keep the name.
And we'll keep the name sometimes.
I think, you were like, I don't know about Castle, though. At the time, like, take that off. It's too much.
We can't call it Haunted Castle.
You could do like Haunted Trailer. Haunted, I don't know.
Shed.
Castle. I mean, I like Castle. This sounds good.
Pluralized. Haunted Castles.
It sounds like a really terrible band name. Yeah. What's your band called again?
I've never told anybody my band name without having to spell it to them.
I know. It's why we've never made it. Everyone's like,
well, speaking of your band name, where did that come from? Like, it sounds like someone was like, "Hey, you're pretty," or and I just love this. Like,
exactly right. You hit it right on the head. Yeah. It's exactly right. It was a nickname that we had for each other, and we called each other pretty. And then we just
mutated with cuteness.
We just breved it, they got breved, and
It's a California thing. Everything's
brevity. But so and then we got it just stuck, and we just called ourselves that.
We're like, oh, this is great. No one will know what we sound like. The name's weird, and
nobody else is going to have call themselves that.
No one has. We were right.
Yeah. No disputes there.
No, for the reasons we thought, though.
We'll not have the opening, the Uggs. No.
That's half the battle, really, isn't it? I mean, what is in a title of a song or a band name anyway? I mean, you guys kind of set yourselves apart. The Prids is I look at it and I see it, and it's a very rock, very almost punk name to me. When I see the Prids, I could see that on any punk fan shelf right off the bat, even before listening to it. So, I mean, it does make sense. But like title wise on songs, like how is it very simplistic to you on what you title something like Haunted? Like, why did you come up with that particular when it came to the song? Like, what do you feel the song is about?
Sometimes I anguish over the title. Sometimes I'll just be like, I can't get it. I don't know. And I'll go through a few different titles. And sometimes for whatever reason, I don't mind or care. And I don't necessarily think that titles are all that important, even when I'm really stressing over it. Again, we joke about our name being bad, but I think when it comes to music, if you like it, the title almost becomes meaningless, and it could just be, everything could be called Gumdrops, and it wouldn't change anything if what you hear is, it's like when you think of the Beatles. When you think of the Beatles, you do not think of, you think of the images of what they look like, but you hear them and you get this feeling, but you don't think of how silly the really beat. They're the Beatles, you see? Get it? With a beat, because they have a backbeat, and they're the Beatles. But that's kind of silly, but that name is so large and
you don't think about it.
You do not think about it.
So we had to be huge. That's what you're saying, for anyone to be like, that's fine.
Well, no, I don't think it ever matters really that much.
Right.
Like, no one's ever not liked something because of the title.
Of course not.
You guys are huge. I mean, you guys have so many followers and so many people that talk about you. It's insane. Like, I could go on in a rabbit hole with you guys, with everything that you have and everybody that talks so highly of you. It's freaking amazing.
There's definitely an evolution there. I mean, when you go back to listen to your early stuff, and I'll be honest with you, there's definitely parts of that 2007 to 2010 that blew me away, because I think it's because I was influenced a lot in the kind of the 80s new wave punk transition to the 90s grunge rock stuff, that there's elements of all of it in there. Like there were different songs that kind of hit me in different ways for so many different reasons. And I love that.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah. We were raised on all of those things, my favorite band is the Smiths, Northern English, music of the late 70s and the 80s is still my touchstones. And I don't think I try to write like them, but I mean, it's going to come in, it's going to come through. And I just love 70s pop music in general, like 70s music, almost the whole decade of the 70s I love.
Ironically, I wrote the Smiths down too. And it was, and you're right. It's not the same, but again, it's just that little touch that it's definitely an influence. I'm going to transition to something that we do always talk about on the show because of the Scratch the Vinyl thing that we search for. I did see a video you guys had out, the song Sydney with the Vinyl HQ. I love that because it had that vinyl scratchy sound, that rawness to it. Where do you guys have a good vinyl collection? How do you feel about vinyl these days?
Oh, they can see it.
Can you show.
Hell yeah.
I saw that. Holy shit. I was like, oh
and there's more behind the couch where we're sitting.
That's amazing.
That is so cool. What's your favorite one? I know it's a stupid question, but sometimes you have that favorite one.
Favorite record.
Besides your guys's.
Okay. In my house, and she could probably say the same, is that I don't have. If a fire broke out, there's some things I would grab, and one of them is my Smiths box set.
Right, for sure. That,
and that's if I could just get. Oh, I'm going to grab my dog, grab all the people, of course, and my Smiths box set.
So, yeah, I think it would be that, actually. If I had to save something, it would be that. Because it's the thing I'd want to hear.
Yeah, over and over. Like if you're on an island and they're like, if you had to listen to something over and over and over, like,
right?
Yeah, yeah.
I could stream everything else. I just want that.
Yeah.
He bought us both box sets when they came out.
The box sets are the best because you can have. Oh yeah, I love the box sets. Now, speaking of vinyls and all of your records and everything that you have, will you tell everybody, all the listeners, everybody, where we can get a hold of you, where we can look at your stuff, where we can find you, where we can buy your albums, just all of it, like your date, like just where we can find you?
Theprids.com is a good place to get all of the vinyl. And then Bandcamp is great. It's better than iTunes if you're going to buy digital. So I think those are the two places.
Yeah, but we're on all the social medias.
Yep.
And the Spotify's and the Apple Music's. Probably some of those other companies that are still around.
Everywhere.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I listened to every album on YouTube.
Nice.
Oh, good.
So our fans and the listeners, if you really do get the full effect, you can go on YouTube and just look up the Prids, and you can pretty much listen to everything they've got out, I think.
And they got some really cool videos. I love the break video on, that I did over and over again. Just love that one.
I think my favorite was I'll Wait, was maybe one of my favorites on that.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of videos.
Yeah. None for this record so far, strangely. But before this record, it was like...
Well, she's had goals. She's like, oh, we're going to have a video for every single song on this record. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite make that.
It's never that. Yeah.
I hate to say it, but it was kind of like a couple of those were almost nostalgic to the 80s videos, to be honest with you. And that's probably why I liked it, because for some reason, I get very nostalgic about that 70s and 80s stuff. And that's because I grew up on it. And that's what I love.
Yeah, that's what happens to us. Whatever hit us when we were like 14 becomes everything,
right?
Forever.
Right.
Now, do you guys release through yourselves, or do you guys release through a record company who does all your distribution? Are you guys fully indie? Like, how does that work for you?
Fully indie at this point. We've had record labels in the past, but now we just release everything on our own. We have the rights to all of our music.
Do you think that the music business is getting oversaturated by the kids in their basement, the people like me who was a basement warrior who's doing my own recording? Or do you think that it needs to go back to the old way, or do you like the way things are going now?
Oh gosh, I don't think it's unable to go back to the old way.
It can't go back. Yeah. But I also, I don't cry about things, like I don't think there's some oversaturation. I think everybody should the more the merrier, it's not like something bad is taking, which is subjective, but it's not like, the great stuff was not necessarily always being, rising to the top in the first place. I don't mind any of that.
The only thing that I think about is AI writing songs, and who is going to show up and go like, I'm going to start a career by having AI write the song, then I'm going to learn it and change it, tweak it just a little bit, write it in this genre. And that's weird, and kind of blows my mind, the possibilities of that.
Right, but I also think it was already kind of like that. Like when you see like certain artists, like no offense, do it however you want. I really don't care. But if you have like 10 people writing a song, and then the artist themselves comes in, and what is that thing they say? They say change a word, get a third. Like if they just come in and just tweak one thing, now they're the songwriter, even though you didn't write that. That's not you.
Yeah.
But now you don't even need the 10 people.
Well, it's an interesting time because you could literally dial it into AI. You could have the drummer make you beats. You can get these samples off of this, and then you could just add that little bit in. But I love your take on it, that just do whatever you want. Like it's not affecting the prids if this kid over here is making something in his bedroom in the closet and maybe two people are listening. Who cares, right? It's art, and the art's so beautiful anyway. I'm glad people are doing it.
It's awesome. No, it's I would never complain about anything like that.
The complaining about things you can't change.
I try not to.
Just write a song instead.
But I think it's you guys, the emotion that you guys put into your songs. I mean, that's the real artists put their emotion into what's going on. And that's what really connects to people. So some of the commercialized part of AI and making everything technically perfect, it to me isn't that great. And I think the true emotion stuff comes out in the real artists.
Yeah, and I just think that, and everybody's different. What some people like, is we're not for everybody. We're not like, but I appreciate that there are people who are like, no, you know what, that's the stuff, and I'm like, amazing. But
that's what matters. If you can if anyone, just a few people feel something,
right. We all have, we have different. Have different emotional intelligence. We all have just different intelligence in general. But so what you're going to be drawn to is going to be different. It's not necessarily superior. It's just that.
It's art.
Yeah, it's just art.
It's like you have a 2-year-old. Yeah, it was drawing something, and you're like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And it looks like Salvador Dali drew it. And some people like Van Gogh, some people like country, some people, but I think it's the heart and the soul that you put into it, and you find where it is and who you love. And you guys are one of my favorites. So,
well, I heard a great quote from Paul McCartney. He said, look, I just write the song. I put out because I love it. Mm-hmm. If it's out there, you either love it or you don't.
Yeah.
I did my thing. That's what I love. If you like it, great. If you don't, it's not for everybody.
No, you can't hurt me by not.
Can't hurt me, right? And
I'm sure there are people who are very upset about that kind of stuff, where it's like, this sucks, and they get all hurt. I mean, maybe when I was a kid, I felt that way for a minute, and then I was like, this doesn't matter.
I don't worry about that part. Again, she's the only, she's the gauntlet I have to get through. Not like once I get through her, I'm pretty sure some people are going to like it.
Right.
There's going to be enough
damage control.
Yeah.
Can you guys go back and listen to your catalog and just like, I'm not saying give yourself a pat on the back, but like some musicians, it's hard to go back and listen to that stuff. When I go back and I listen to my cringeworthy early work, I just want to punch myself in the face. Can you guys listen to your music and you guys are happy with everything that you've done so far?
Yeah, for the most part.
There are things that we go, that's dated.
There's a few in there. Like, in fact, I don't want to name it because then I'm going to Streisand affect it. So I'm not even going to get in there. I'm just going to back right out of that conversation and just say, I like, for the most part, I like it all.
You don't want them to listen to the song. Yeah, right.
So what was that song you were talking about? I mean, off the record. Kane, are we recording? Okay.
We are now, Brooke.
Okay, just started.
Well, no, I don't mean to out. Of course, you want a musician to say, "Well, I do like my body of work," because how can you talk somebody else into liking your body of work if you go, "I hate it. It sucks." I'm not saying that. I'm just, as a musician, I'm my biggest critic, and I'll bet you guys are pretty critical on yourselves.
I'm hard on it for sure. This last record is the closest I've gotten to where I'm like, because there's always something, that I don't like. It's not like being too picky. It's just something that maybe I didn't achieve personally through it. I still love it, but I see where I didn't hit the heights I was trying to right. or it's I blame myself, not like as a band, but it's like I'm
less sensitive about that than you.
Yeah, you're less sensitive. Yeah, but because to me sometimes I think I can hear where I was lazy. I can hear like a lyric where I'm like, dude, You didn't even try. You could have tried harder. You could have spent 10 more minutes, but instead you're like, that works.
And only 10 minutes to make it good? Yeah, right.
I exaggerate. Tens of minutes, tens and tens of minutes I could have spent and made it better. And I just let it go out the door. And I thought, I don't want to point out where those are. I don't want to.
When I listen to what you're doing as a musician, I hear all the musicianship, and I don't hear any of that. And most people won't, right? Your average listener is not going to hear that. And that's the sign of a good band too, is your other bandmates. They will cover up some of the mistakes you made or the laziness that you did work. So it definitely doesn't come out with you guys.
It's a healthy insecurity that I'm having, that I just always strive to nail it personally for
healthy
me.
Insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
I know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Way to put
Name
it.
of your next album? Title?
Next.
If they don't take it, I will. All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think that because just like I saw, I think there is a healthy. It's like, because it's like realizing where you I guess
weaknesses?
like your weaknesses are. Yeah. And you should be aware of those and be not necessarily paranoid or be riddled with anxiety, but you should
strive to be
own it. You should own that insecurity.
You guys are so busy, and I absolutely love all of your music. My friends, my family, they listen to you guys, and you are beautiful people. You really are. And that is, I think, in my opinion, one of the most important things. And thank you guys for everything you do. Thank you for your art. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day, okay? Love you guys.
Again, I'm just going to kind of reiterate what Brooke said, is just how much we appreciate coming on and sitting down and chatting with us today. And of course, we'd love to get you back in the future, especially if you ever come back out this way. I really enjoyed just kind of really dive into the whole catalog again this last couple of days. I'd heard your songs before, and it really gave me a good reason to really dip back into some of your other stuff and listen to the new album. And I'm excited for you guys to just keep going, and can't wait to see what you guys do next.
Wow, thank you so much.
Thanks. We can't wait. We can't wait either.
Yeah, we have 3 or 4 new. Is it 4 or 3 songs? Did you decide if you like the other song you wrote? I like the songs I wrote. So we have 3 new ones we're going in to record just a couple of months. Yeah. Actually.
Yeah.
Nice. We get the exclusive here on Scratch the Vinyl. Listeners, the Prids are coming out with 4 new songs soon.
And I don't know if this is true or not, but I read online, okay, and I'll just read the quote. It was from Henry Rollins, okay, and it was about you guys. It said the Prids are not only a really good band, but they're also very nice people, and they're getting out there and bringing a unique, worthwhile thing to their audience, and that's what it's all about. If Henry Rollins says so, then I'm going with it. Okay, so I think you guys are gonna find out if you dive into their catalog. You're gonna get it too. So thank you guys so much for being on the show. We definitely appreciate you. I wish we had more time, but everybody's time is valuable, and I know you guys are very busy. So thank you guys.
Thank you so much for having us. It's been super fun.
All right, kids. Well, here's another great one for you guys. Keep listening. Stay tuned, and we'll see you guys next week on
Scratch the Vinyl.
Yeah.